Hey, I'm here today with Matt Fryman. He is the National Relay Director for Carry the Load, and he's going to go through a little bit of information with us to help everybody understand what exactly is Carry the Load and why the Woody Williams Foundation partners with them. And I'm sure that by the end of this, you will be able to see the connections and our why as far as why we partner. So, Matt, if you don't mind, just start off by telling us what is Carry the Load.
Yeah, absolutely. So Care Load is a nonprofit based in Dallas, Texas, with the mission to honor the sacrifices of our military veterans, first responders, and their families. We look to accomplish that through our three different programs, being the awareness program, education program, and then continuum of care program.
Very good. Now, as the national relay director, you've planned five different relays all across America. So, tell us, what is the goal of those relays and kind of how they work?
Yeah, absolutely. So the national relay has grown, like you said, to be five different routes. So the goal of them is to simply, provide awareness around those sacrifices, but also provide an active way for, different communities to come out and join us and be able to show their support and their appreciation of the fact that, hey, there's people that are making sacrifices and giving their lives so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we have. So we have those five different routes that cover 20,000 miles during the month of May. They all have different starting points, but they all ultimately culminate in Dallas, Texas on Memorial Day weekend. But again, each one of those routes has its own bus, its own team that we're able to walk in many different communities across the country. So odds are that we're walking somewhere near you. But it just kind of provides us a chance to walk and talk and to be able to share stories and hear stories as we walk from point A to point B, B to C, and then end up all the way in Dallas, Texas.
Very good. Well, one thing that we're grateful for and we do appreciate is that you have found a way to incorporate 17 of our Gold Star family memorial monuments along the way. So that is it's very much appreciated. And in your prior experience, because I know that you've done this before, but what impact does visiting and walking past and spending some time at one of these monuments, what impact does it have on the relay team and those that are there in attendance?
Well, I think the first thing that comes to mind is just the awareness of around what a Gold Star family is. There's a lot of people, especially in the civilian community, that don't know what that is and sometimes get it confused with other terms. So providing kind of that awareness and that definition of that is hugely important because again, we have team members that are civilians that may not exactly know what it was previous care load as well. But I also kind of put these monuments in the same kind of bucket as national cemeteries. There's different places, different monuments, memorials, to where you feel the weight differently of what we're doing. And I think the Gold Star Family Memorials are one of those. It allows you to kind of put things in perspective and be like, oh, yeah, we're walking because somebody gave their life so that we can have what we have. And it kind of makes it a little more real and a little more humbling experience because, again, we're all human. We all have our faults and getting caught up in the day to day. So it kind of just reaffirms why we're doing what we're doing and the importance of it.
Very good. Well, going along with that, how do you see or what do you see as the importance of carry the load with the Gold Star families in our country?
Those families have made a sacrifice that those of us that have not had to endure that pain, that's something that will be with them forever. So to be able to reassure them that, hey, there's others outside of their direct circle that appreciate and that care that their son, their daughter, their husband, their wife died in honor of someone that they didn't, or not in honor, but for somebody else they didn't know. I think it's important. I think it's important to make sure that they understand that there's people that care and that their loved one will never be forgotten. I just think we kind of owe it to them. Just because that they're not the one that made the ultimate sacrifice, they're having to live with that sacrifice every day and bear the consequence of it as well, and deal with that pain day after day of loss of a loved one.
Right. So, along the way, over the past several years, have you had any interactions with a Gold Star family on one of the relays? And if so, can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So again, I've been fortunate enough to actually have a few, and there's one or two that come to mind. So the most recent one I got to meet the Baker family up in Portland, Oregon. So they came out to the Willamette National Cemetery where their son Keegan Baker is buried, and he died in March of 2020. So they had reached out to Care Load previously because they submitted a storyboard, which is a tool that we utilize to be able to memorialize those that have given their life, and so we're able to have a picture of them as well as a short little description about their life, so that as we're out on the relay, we have those boards with us so others can read about them. But anyways, they submitted that board. We made sure to have that board with us as we came to the National Cemetery, and so being able to see their appreciation that we were carrying their son with us, from Seattle, ultimately all the way to Dallas, Texas, was ingrained in me and will be ingrained in me forever. And just being able to walk and talk with them and be able to hear more about their son more than just what was on the storyboard. It was super impactful. Another one that jumps to mind too is I got to meet up with a few different families in Prescott, Arizona a few years back. But there was a few Gold Star mothers there that, they were coming out to the National Cemetery, and just be able to, kind of chat with them for a few minutes. And they appreciated what we were doing so much, but then to be able to show them how much I appreciate them and the sacrifice that they and their family have made, is truly just such a special connection that, again, it's not one that is made every day in just our normal lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Walking a few miles in honor of someone is definitely by far the least that we can do to honor them and their families that they did leave behind. So
Absolutely.
thank you, Matt Fryman, for joining us today. Great to hear from you and get your take on how Carry the Load impacts the Gold Star families that the Woody Williams Foundation serves. And for those watching, this is your chance to be able to help our cause. You can make a donation today. We'll have the link below in the comments, but please make a donation, and that goes towards our programs that we use to support Gold Star families. So thanks again, Matt. We appreciate you joining us for just a few minutes, and we look forward to continuing our partnership and working with you. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Bye-bye.